Hey traders, welcome back to another live trading video here. I'm taking a look at the S&P 500 today, and I'm actually looking to get short, and I'm going to talk about why I'm Welcome back to another live trading video here. I'm taking a look at the S&P 500 today, and I'm actually looking to get short, and I'm going to talk about why I'm willing to take this trade. And what we're going to do, as we usually do in these live trading videos, is I'm going to share the trade start to finish, why I take the trade, how the trade goes, and how it ends, so that you guys can hopefully learn something or get something from this video, and we'll see if I can make any money on this trade. So let me first get into the analysis as to why I'm interested in potentially shorting here on the S&P 500 today. So we've got this channel here going to the upside, and you can see it's very, very straightforward. We got a lot of back and forth, but overall that nice upward trend in this channel. So a lot of times what happens when we get a channel like this is that for the most part the trend continues until it doesn't. So what I mean by that is we can be up, 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 and then all of a sudden when structure starts to break and the bears start to see there's potential weakness in this uptrend, we can get some nice corrective moves back down. Now, granted, me taking a short here is a little bit risky because we do have an uptrend, right? And so a lot of times being short or selling in an uptrend is considered riskier because you're going against the overall direction of the market. But let me explain a little bit as to why I think that this is possibly a decent idea. So if you actually look at the 4-hour chart on the S&P 500, we've been up, up and away for quite some time without much strength at all from the bears to sell off whatsoever, right? So here, what I like about today's movement is for the first time we've actually seen some convincing bearish candles closing here on the S&P 500. On top of this, we have been in a strong uptrend for some time, and a lot of times what happens with these indices is when they come down really hard, really fast. And so to me, the risk reward is decent when we're stretched a little bit like this to the upside and we're showing some signs of momentum slow and some weakness from the bulls. This could be a potential opportunity to look to short, to get involved on the sell side and see if we can get a nice corrective move. Now, the interesting thing here is that if price does decide to drop, we've got a lot of room to come down to some key levels of structure, right? We could make our way all the way down to this point without much hesitation at all. When we see these markets drop, they can really, really drop when we're looking at things like US 30, S&P 500. And so what I'm looking to do is probably take a small short position here on the S&P 500. And we'll see if this thing yields any return. So again, the basis here, if we jump back to the 4-hour chart, or sorry, the 1-hour chart really quick, you can see that prices closed outside of this upward channel that we mentioned previously, right? So we saw support all along the way, and this is the first time we've actually been able to close convincingly below that that trend line. And so we are underneath the 20-period SMA on the 1-hour chart, and I think it is very possible that we could see a little bit more downside. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop on this trade. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll just get out of the trade and take a loss. But if we're right, we'll let this one run and see if we can make some profit. So stay tuned. I'm going to jump into this trade, share it with members, and I will be right back. All right, so I just took that short, and it's kind of funny because every time I tell Will that I shorted the S&P or the US 30, he always reacts in a funny way because we've made so many jokes about getting absolutely destroyed shorting these things. So I'm going to go over and get his reaction. It should be pretty funny. So let's go see what he does. Hey, Will. Hey, Will.
What's up?
I just shorted the S&P 500.
Let's go.
Rest in peace, my account, bro.
How's it go?
Oh, we'll see. All right, traders, and there I am short on this market. I actually just shared it with members here. You can see this is what the group looks like. I basically said I'm looking to get short on the break and close below on this upward channel, just as we had mentioned previously. Price is looking a bit stretched overall. I think fundamentally some of the numbers and stuff that's coming out right now doesn't support such a strong rally. So we'll see if that decides to play out and if I can make any money here. And I think the risk to reward for downside is actually looking pretty good. So I've got to stop, as I mentioned, to members here just above structure highs here. So if price decides to go back up and break through there, I'm just going to stop out of this trade and take my loss with dignity, and we'll see how that one goes out. If we hit that stop, we'll just look for something else to trade. But with that, I've got a stop above previous top and looking to see if this market wants to drop down a bit. I've shared this with members. By the way, if you are not already a member, you can find out information on that down below in the description to join the A1 trading community. I share all my trades. We also have chat rooms, and there's a few other analysts sharing their trades and why they are doing what they're doing. So come join us if you are not already a member. But again, I've got this trade. I've shared the reasoning behind why I'm in this trade. I've got my risk defined, and I'm going to see if we can get a stop locked in at some point, maybe move it to break even and see if this market wants to drop any further. So stay tuned. We'll be back with an update once this thing starts to move, whether it's a winner or loser. I will be sharing it to YouTube for you guys to hopefully get some sort of value out of. So stay tuned. All right, traders, and here is the final result here on SPX 500. Unfortunately, we did end up taking a loss on this trade. I think the initial thesis on the trade setup was actually not bad. I really still liked the trade setup. Unfortunately, it just did not work. You can see that price did, in fact, break underneath, which gave us that initial entry looking for the downtrend to continue, but we did not get that. In fact, what ended up happening was we chopped around. We did find temporary resistance, but overall made our way, as we do on the S&P 500 a lot of times. We just chugged back up and stopped out of that trade just above structure highs. And actually, if anything, this is a good lesson as to why it's nice to stop out of a trade that's gone bad sometimes, is because you can see price just kept going. And so in this case, we stopped out of the trade, we cut that loss, and fortunately, I've entered recently, since this trade has closed, some trades that have started to make some profit. So just kind of in the grand scheme of things, remember, as a trader, it's not any use to focus on one single trade. It's a focus on many trades over time, and seeing that over time you're winning more than you're losing, right? So when we look at this position again, my stop I think was in a decent position. As we broke through this level, we just saw the continuation, so that tells me that my stop was actually positioned pretty well, and so far it's been a pretty good indicator of if this trend continues, you just jump out of the way. So with that said, I think that this trade again was a good trade. I would take it again if it presented itself, and it doesn't work out every time. No setup does, right? As a trader, there is no guarantee that a setup is going to make you money or lose you money. It is more over the long term, are you profitable or are you losing? So SPX 500, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I know it's not flashy, it's not the beautiful massive 10R winners that people put on YouTube, but I like to share the realities of trading Forex. If you want to get into this, I think you should know it is not easy. It is not printing money all the time, and you must have decent capital. There's all the realistic side of things. If you actually want to make money trading, it's not easy. So this is hopefully a wake up for some of you guys watching on YouTube, because again, not every trade is a winner. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, do me a favor, help me earn back some of these losses by giving that like button a click. It doesn't pay me anything, but it does share the video with more people. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and we'll see you back in the next one.